So at this point, we've talked about whether LegalShield is worth it. We've talked about why most people don't actually use it. And we've broken down what you get. But now I want to go deeper into one of the biggest questions people have. How does LegalShield actually compare to hiring a traditional lawyer? And more importantly, what does it really cost you or potentially save you in real life? If you're new here, my name is Dan, and on this channel, I just talk about real experiences, real lessons, things I've used, things I've learned, and even some things I've regretted along the way. And just to be transparent, I am a LegalShield associate. I have been for many years. So I do see this from both sides, but what I'm sharing here is just my honest experience and perspective, because it hasn't always been great for me either, okay? So let's start with what most people are used to. Hiring a lawyer the traditional way. So in most cases, you're paying by the hour, and depending on the type of attorney, that could be a couple $100s or more. It could be, several $100s an hour. But there's another issue that doesn't get talked about enough, and that's how you even know you're calling the right kind of attorney. Is this a contract issue, a real estate issue, a family law issue? These are all different areas of law, and most people aren't even sure where to start. And then on top of that, how do you know if that attorney is any good? Are they experienced? Are they reputable? Are they highly rated? Are they recognized through something like Martindale-Hubbell, which rates law firms and attorneys? Or are you just taking your best guess on a quick search? That alone can be stressful. And then once you do make the call, if they'll take it, the clock is running and you're paying for that time. So what ends up happening is most people don't call a lawyer until they absolutely have to. And I don't blame them, okay? They wait, they guess, they try to figure things out themselves. And by the time they do call, the situation's usually gotten a lot bigger. It's more stressful, more expensive. And now let's shift over to how LegalShield would work. Instead of trying to figure all of that out yourself, you're connected to a provider law firm in your state, attorneys who are already vetted, already experienced, and already handling a wide range of legal issues. And so this is important because you're going to get the right attorney, because a lot of that work has already been done for you, okay? You're not guessing who to call. You're going to get the right attorney. You're not wondering if they're reputable. We already know they are. You already have access to a firm that's there to help you, guide you. And across the network, there are over 900 attorneys that are part of the system that have already been vetted. They already have, on average, over 20 years experience. So instead of starting from zero, you're starting with access to experienced legal help right away. Now let's go a step deeper, because this is where the value becomes more clear. With LegalShield, you're not just getting advice. You're getting access to a law firm, as I've said before, that can actually take action. They can review documents, they can explain contracts, they can even do legal research for you. They can write letters on your behalf, and in some cases, even make calls for you. So that changes a lot of things, because now you're not just reacting, you're making informed decisions about what needs to be done. Now, let's talk about more serious situations, because this is where people want clarity. LegalShield is not designed to necessarily replace every legal situation, and that's important to understand. If something becomes complex or turns into a major legal issue, you might want to explore working with a specialized attorney outside of LegalShield. Not that we can't help you. The difference is, and this is key, you're not starting from scratch. You've already talked to an attorney, you already understand your situation, and you have a much better idea of what your next step should be. And in many cases, you can continue working with that same provider law firm or one of our referral attorneys, often at a discounted rate, depending on your plan. And one step further, what happens if you're actually named in a lawsuit? And again, we're talking about covered situations. Depending on your plan, again, there can be trial defense hours included, meaning you're not completely on your own. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. Those hours actually can increase over time. The longer you been a member, the more hours you have. So instead of just paying a month to month, you're building a level of protection over time, especially if someone's coming after you. So let's bring this back to more something everyday, something like a traffic ticket, okay? Most people just pay it. They don't think about the long-term impact, insurance increases, points on their license. But with guidance, you may be able to make a better decision just on something that simple. And depending on your plan, there may be assistance, even representation available to go to court for you. So let's talk about something else that matters, time. Because this is one of the biggest reasons people don't deal with things early. I just don't have time. And that's real. I mean, it really is. But this is where things have improved so much with LegalShield. Instead of having to stop everything to call a law firm, explain everything on the spot, you can use our app, schedule a call, enter your details ahead of time, and have that conversation. That way you've got everything out there, right, on your schedule. Instead of saying, I don't have time for this, it becomes more like, let me just set this up quickly and handle it when it works for me. And that removes one of the biggest barriers that people have. So let's bring all of this together, because at the end of the day, this comes down to value, not just cost. If you never use LegalShield, then no, it's not cheaper, trust me. But if you use it, even just a few times a year, that's where things start to change. One call to a traditional attorney could just cost a couple $100, assuming you have the right one. A document review could cost more. A letter written, even more. And if something escalates, now you're looking at significantly higher costs. Whereas with LegalShield, those everyday interactions are already included. So the value doesn't come from replacing big legal bills. It comes from avoiding them, reducing them, or handling things early enough before they ever get to that point. So that's the real comparison. It's not just, is this cheaper than a lawyer? It's, does this help me avoid bigger costs down the road? Definitely can. And for the right person, the answer can absolutely be yes. If you want to take a closer look at the plans and see how they're structured, I'll leave a link down below to my site where you can review everything in more detail. And if you have questions, just feel free to leave a comment or to contact me directly, which you'll see on my website. So I'm always happy to help. Even if you've already a member and you've got some questions that you haven't been able to talk to the person who has helped you in the past or don't remember, give me a comment and we'll get things straightened out for you. So I really appreciate you being here. Like I said, I post new content every Monday and Thursday. This is the 4th video in this series on LegalShield. Things I use, things I like, things I haven't liked so much. It's kind of things I always talk about. And even though I've been with LegalShield for a long time, I've had my ups and downs in learning to use the system properly so it's become valuable to me. And again, I appreciate you being here. I'll see you in the next video. I look forward to helping you out with maybe something that would make a difference for you, all right? So have a phenomenal day. Again, my name's Dan from Michigan. Welcome to my channel.